slide by.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's.
Let me put my glasses on.
That's just a whole lot better. Let's get this bitch up in there. Can't even see Ace. We'll stop this shit.
Glasses or no glasses, bro?
You know, whatever you feel comfortable with. And, you know, right now, we're fucking live. You know, finally, you know, right now we got two very special guests in the building. But before that, let me just welcome everybody to the Great Alexander Podcast. I'm your host, Alexander, aka the Great Alexander, aka Young Trigger. That's my rap name right now because I'm surrounded by two rap niggas.
Right.
You feel me? So this is how we're gonna start it off. Fourth episode of the podcast, and I'm joined by, like I said, two very special guests. One unexpected to me, but I'm gonna just allow them to introduce themselves first.
What's good? Y'all already know what it is. And my brother, the Great Alexander, you feel me? That money's still up. You already know we here at the best podcast going on right now. Make sure y'all tune in.
Absolutely, you know what it is, man. Still up Ace, man. I'm here with my brother Money, my man Alex. Let's get to it, man.
Yep.
And right after that, after this is over, I'm gonna tag them so you guys can follow them. You know, go up on their Soundcloud. They both got just lit fucking songs. And with that being said, I'm actually playing Money's song right now, Why Not? Which I downloaded illegally. Hope you don't mind. You know what I mean?
Good,
I gotta find that shit nowhere else.
I get all exclusives, man.
I had to find that shit on my own, but you know, let's get right into it, man. You know, sorry for the lateness and sorry for the tardiness. We on CP time, but it's all good because you know we family like that. So, I want to first get into at least me and your history about how we got into, I guess, just us meeting and everything. And I don't remember the first time ever meeting you, but I know it was obviously with Christians.
Definitely.
You know what
I remember Christian bringing me over the house, man. You was probably about like this tall, man. Short, you feel me? I was a youngin' when I first met you, but yeah, you already know what happened behind the scenes, man. Me and your brother, we used to be in that basement locked in all night, every day, 24/7, just recording.
Yeah.
Had a little laptop, had a little studio mic, bandana tied around it. You remember, man, the struggle, but we made it work. We put out good music around that time, feeling that's what really got us started.
And it's funny that you mentioned those times. I remember, like, after y'all were done, I used to come down there and like always like see what the fuck y'all were doing, because I never knew, like, y'all be down there for so fucking long, and I'll come down there and I'll be like, oh snap, like, I don't know what the fuck is this. I see the mic, yeah, right there,
yep,
and I'll be like, man, like, and like I said, you be down there for hours and stuff like that, and you know, now we here and shit, and just that progress over time.
That time, yep.
You know what I mean?
Somewhere, man.
And I guess this is my first time, obviously, me and Ace and shit like that. You feel me? You know, they pulled up, hotboxing in the car and shit, have our clothes fucked up. You know, it's cool. You know, washing room right there, so it's gonna be straight. Now, as far as you, Ace, like, you know, I already got my introduction with Money and stuff like that, and our history. You know, tell the people, you know, whoever don't know, you know, a little bit about you, where you come from, you know, who you are as a person, you feel me?
A little bit about me, man. For those who don't know, I'm Ace. Man, you follow me everywhere, still up Ace on Twitter, Instagram, all that. Basically, I'm same as Money, independent artist out here, man. Just finding my own lane. So, you wanna just hear any of my music, me and Money share same SoundCloud together, still Splashy. Man, you wanna look up our videos, look up Ace, still Splashy, crazy. You gonna find everything, man. But we just working. We a little late today right now because we just came back from Philadelphia shooting with Ted Simmons. Shout out Ted Simmons, Tone, Trump, CeeLo Green, all them.
Everybody over there.
But man, we just working, man. It's 2017, time to step it up, man. Not even just with the music, but with everything, financially, spiritually, being better people, and being period. Like,
and it's funny that you even mentioned that, because like I feel like that's kind of just been everyone's like wavelength, and especially mine. Like if you go on my page, it obviously says, you know, like all about action, and because, you know, and I'm pretty sure you guys can relate to this shit, just how over the years you have so many ideas and thoughts and plans that you want to implement, but you never really do it. Right. You know what I mean? Right. So like now it's like you kind of have to cease the talking and just start.
It's all about action.
And just start doing this shit. Like I wanted to do like this podcast and everything else for so long, and always thinking about how I was gonna do it when I was like, you know what?
Talked about it, but now
it's time to execute. It's time to start bringing this shit to the forefront and going forth with this shit, you know what I mean? And that's why I feel like it all starts with anybody. As long as you, like, that's what separates the people who always wish and want things from the people. Like from the people who actually go out and execute and do the shit that they say they want to do, you know what I mean? Right. But, you know, aside from all the, you know, hashtag, you know, New Year, New Me type shit, I want to like just ask both of y'all, and you can answer this, you know, Ace, if you want to answer this first. What's your opinion just broadly on the rap game currently? Like, what do you see it as, and, you know, how would you fit yourself into it?
To be honest, I see the rap game, to me, it's getting repetitive.
That's
like everybody going for like the same kind of sound, and it's like people see that people give a good reaction to a certain type of music or a certain sound, and they want to try to hop in that lane, and they want to try to do the same thing, thinking everybody get the same reaction. In reality, it don't really work that way. But I just think everybody, I just stay true to myself, and I stay in my own lane. I don't listen to everybody else's music. I'm not on Spinrilla all the time downloading the newest music. Like, I just stay in my own lane, and I want to sound like myself. And I think that's what the rap game needs, more people to be real and sound like themselves and not rap about cars they're not driving or money that they don't got.
It's not relatable.
Just be real with yourself. More people gonna relate, and they gonna fool with you. People gonna fool with you, or they gonna hate you regardless. So as long as they talking, that's all that really matters.
What about you, Ryan? You know, what do you feel about the rap game currently? You know, where would you find yourself within it?
Rap is not the same no more, honestly. In my opinion, I feel like it's more about the entertainment perspective of music now, because music changes so much within months, years. It's a new sound coming out. It's a new, I mean, the way people make beats, it's new producers. Every year or every month, music is changing. So at this point, I feel like people are not rapping no more. They're just making songs, or they just being themselves, which I respect. You feel me? I may not like the song, I may not approve of, you know, what they talking about and how they go about this, that, and the third. But what I do respect is if you being yourself, then how can I hate that?
And it's I feel like both of you guys are saying the same thing, and, you know, me being a nigga in the middle, I kind of, you know, bring it back. But essentially, I get the sense that how you guys feel about the rap game is, you know, obviously it's repetitiveness, but how everyone kind of takes to a certain wave all the time, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they pick a wave and they jump on it, and then that's going to be hot for maybe like, 6 months, and then you find another wave, and then they ride another wave. That's how it goes. But if you remain yourself, that wave will never stop.
But however, I feel like someone who does that amazingly and still is at the top is obviously Drake. Like, this nigga's gonna hop on every wave that there is, and just kill it every time.
Right.
And he's
that work ethic.
Like, he's always gonna come out on top, and it's because he knows what's hot right now. He knows what's cool, and when he hops on that wave, everyone's like, "Oh, Drake doing it. That was definitely cool." You know, like, and I feel like only a few people can do that if you are at that peak in your career, you know what I mean? Like,
and even when he switch it up, he's still being himself at the end of the day.
Exactly.
You hear him on the song, you know that's Drake. He's not talking about, oh, I'm in the hood, standing on the block, blah, blah, blah. Nah, it's the same Drake every time.
Yeah.
So that's what I respect.
And that's I feel like, and you know, like you both said, it's how everybody kind of gravitates towards a certain sound and stuff like that. Like right now, I was reading this article about how like the Migos kind of changed like rap after they came out, like, and everybody doing like, you know,
the Migo flow,
and, you know what I mean? And if you like really like tune in, and some people who try to say they don't do it, but they really do it, you know, like it's such like influence and inspiration. And segueing into my next topic is like, how do you guys feel about inspiration versus I guess you can say like jealousy? Like you hear a sound and someone be like, oh, I could do that better than that nigga. Or they hear a sound,
swag, they try to take your flow and make it into their own.
Right, or they hear a sound and be like, yo, that's so dope. Like, I need to create some of my own like that. You know what I mean? Like where would you both see the either difference or similarities in inspiration versus jealousy with that?
I feel like that's all music is to inspire. Most times when I'm listening to music, I'm listening to music that's based around my mood, how I'm feeling at that time and place. So I feel like when you speak about inspiration in music, that's the first thing that comes to mind as soon as you play a song, because you either trying to get inspiration to do this, you're trying to get motivation to go out and do that. Like, music really does like control you and run the world at the same time. So like, it's all based off moods and how you feeling, and that gives you inspiration to go out and do what you need to do. Because you see this man, he rapping, but he helping people in the community. He building houses. He doing this, that, and the third, all off of music. So you can be inspired by that. Just who the person is and what they doing. It don't have to be, oh, I respect him as a rapper. It could be, I respect him as a person because he used rap to make more moves. Build himself up.
Right. So. I feel that. What about you, Ace? Pretty quiet.
Same thing. I mean, same thing though. Like, I kind of feel like if somebody like, I don't know, the jealousy aspect. Like, you can't really be jealous. I can't say you jealous if you wanna do that same type sound, or you wanna, like, that's, to me, that's like I motivated you, or like that's like inspiration to me. Like, that's admiration. Like, you admire the work that you wanna do it yourself. Like, put your own little spin on it. So I can't even like knock people for doing it.
Where would you define the line between someone being inspired and someone like biting? Like, where would you draw the line at?
To me, it's like when you start taking that person ad libs, you start taking certain words that person say, and like when that's not even how you like talk, or that's not how you originally like that's not how you sound. It just sounds like a whole nother person. But I mean, people put their spin on stuff all the time. Like, you look at Young Thug, like you can tell he inspired by people like Lil Wayne or Gucci. Like, but when you start taking specific things like 22 Savage, for example, he goes out and takes the man's name. Like, to me, that's the point. Alright, that's where the line is drawn right there.
Because one of my favorite artists nowadays is Designer, and everybody thought nigga was Future at first, but it was like Designer, if you really listen to him, he has his own sound. He just so happens to have a similar voice to Future, just like Action Bronson had a similar voice to Ghostface, and you know what I mean? And they just end up sounding the same on a song, but they're two totally different artists just from their context and their lyrics and how they go about approaching the beat. You know what I mean? And you know, like you say, like if you go about stealing a nigga name or just taking a nigga's whole catalog, like
taking his swag,
claiming something that you know you didn't start. That's what it really is. Like, somebody take your flow and don't give you credit or say that they was inspired by you, that's why they do this now, then I feel like that's when they're trying to claim something that you started, and then that's when it gets into the whole jealousy perspective, you feel me?
And I feel like it's all like great artists. We all come off of like someone who we idolize and who we look to as inspiration. And in the beginning, we might copy their style, you know, whatever.
Just to get started.
And then over time, like you said, you end up twisting it and developing it into what's yours. You know what I mean? Like, everybody always contributes, like Kanye's like 808s and like Kid Cudi's like Man on the Moon, to like everybody like being so in their feelings of music and all that type of shit. You know what I mean?
Because it's that mood, it's that inspiration they get from that artist.
Exactly. And you know, with that being said, like they put those people on a pedestal to say, oh, these were the guys who started this, and everybody else who falls under that, like a Drake or you know what I mean. When in reality, it's like, nah, like they took it and made it their own now.
That's all music is just recycled. Even from back in the days before I even started rapping, I hear rappers that's on reciting Biggie or reciting Tupac. Like, it all goes about how you do it, how you recycle the music. You either paying respect or you taking it for yourself.
Right. So, and it's funny, y'all should definitely meet my cousin Rob and everything, because you know he raps, but he's kind of like just really on the low with it. And he was actually on the second episode if you listen to that shit. But essentially for him, he's so like all about like originality. Like it's to the point where he's so against like even taking the niggas like one word from a bar, like if it doesn't come from him, like he doesn't
respect it.
Like he doesn't fuck with it, and he holds every like artist to that standard. Like he believes that, and I believe him, that he's like on like a peer level with like the J. Cole's and the Wale's of the world and shit like that. Like he's genuinely that good. So I feel like when it comes to originality and influence, would you say that the originality spurs from the inspiration that you get?
Definitely. Nowadays, I wouldn't say it's hard to be original, but when you can be original, you definitely set the standard and you set yourself apart from everybody that's doing the same thing. Because nowadays, like I said, stuff is either getting washed down, people either reciting bars or stealing flows, and you hear the same type of music every time. The same type of music all the time now. So it's like, when is it going to switch up? When is somebody going to set the bar high enough to do something different? Like Cole, he played it back all the time, but as soon as he dropped, everybody's listening, everybody's in tune with what he's saying, what he's talking about, getting inspiration from certain songs that like, oh, I can put myself in his shoes in this song, I feel just like him. Like, yeah.
And it's funny that you even like mentioned Cole, because I feel like he's someone who, if you listen from like start to finish, I believe like Cole hasn't changed like one bit. Like he's always been like singing his own hooks. He's always been rapping straightforward, making his own beats. Like, and it gets to the point where I feel like he's, I guess in my mind, someone who you see as a progression but who stayed themselves. You know what I mean? Like Drake is a progression, but he switched up.
You know Drake for Drake.
Yeah, like he switched up. Like every album, you know, it's like a different sound to it. Like Thank Me Later sounds nothing like Views. Like if you like go front to back, it's totally fucking different.
Totally different.
But it's like, and somehow, in some way, he still manages to like keep within his essence of like sing-song rapping.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Fans in tune with
keeping his
still
fans
me.
in tune.
I'm still the old Drake that y'all first was.
Yeah. At the end of the day, like if you can like fucking tell me about your ex, like, I can relate. You know what I mean? Like,
I can put myself in your shoes and be like, yeah, I know exactly what you going through just by listening to a song. Then inspiration definitely.
Yeah.
Cole is one of my influences, man. Like I can listen to Cole all day, first track to the last track. Like.
And I feel like with because his last album that got put out, I don't know if you've seen the documentary for it called Eyes and everything.
Yeah.
And like the process that went into creating it, you know, he had like people like playing the violin and the pianists and other singers and stuff like that. And going in and just segueing into like a creative process. I guess you can answer this. What would you like? How was your creative process brought about? Like, what goes into that?
I'm glad you asked, because like that's one of the main reasons why I like Cole so much. Like his work ethic is real similar to mine and Money's as well. Like he said in that same documentary, like he listened to the song like 1,000 times before he put it out. Anything he do, he listened to it over and over again. Head earphones, stereo, go in the car, like you just listen to it a bunch of times. And any little thing he pick out or he hears something in there that it's not the way he wanted to be, he go back and fix it. And I look at it like I do the same thing. Like people be looking at me all crazy, asking me, when the next time you driving something, or when this, that, and the third coming out, and I be telling them, but like in the back of my head, like I really don't know. Like it's gonna be ready whenever I feel like it's ready. Like Cole don't really rush stuff. He like you gotta take your time with art. Like art, nothing that you can just rush and you put a deadline on it. Like, and that's why a lot of people don't work good with labels. They give you deadlines and stuff, and like you can't rush stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's one reason why I really like Cole, and that's like I said, we got like the same kind of work ethic. I do the same thing. I listen to songs thousands of times, like before I even finalize it, put anything out, any preview. Like, I just perfect the craft. Yeah,
perfect the craft, and like I said, going off what he's saying with Cole, with his creative process, it's like if you see somebody paying that much attention to detail to make sure everything is perfect and in order and sounding the way it sounds, he's not moving on nobody else's time, he's doing it for himself. You'll see that passion, you feel me? You'll see that work ethic, you'll feel it too. Looking at it, you're like, oh, alright. So if that's all it takes, then why I ain't doing the same thing?
Right.
So, yeah.